Concern is growing along the Gulf Coast as the oil spill grows and moves closer to land. Today, teams started applying chemical dispersants that are normally used on top of the water, placing them directly at the leak, 5,000 feet below the surface. The idea is that the chemicals will thin the oil and make it less harmful as it reaches the surface. In the next week or so, crews plan to lower huge metal boxes over the well, capture the oil, and transfer it to a tanker. It's never been done before, and there's no guarantee that it will work.
Holding it in place, making sure you collect the oil and ferrying it up to the surface is a challenge.
President Obama visited the area yesterday and said that the slick has the potential to be an unprecedented environmental disaster.
Sue, down at the live desk, Thomas Haas is, of course, president of Grand Valley State University. He was also an honors graduate of the US Coast Guard Academy. He retired as a captain from the Coast Guard back in 1996. President Haas, you worked the Exxon Valdez oil spill back in 1989 in Prince William Sound. Can you draw some comparisons for us tonight on that spill, which was the biggest one of its kind at the time, and now this catastrophe?
And it is just had a catastrophe, and my heart goes out to the people who lost their lives on April 20th. But there is some similarities in that it is crude oil, but there's a lot of differences as well. That was a point source in Valdez with the tanker. Here it's a source that's a mile down.
Who's in charge of this mission right now? Is it the Coast Guard, the U.S. government, or is it BP?
Well, in my opinion, at this point in time, it's the Coast Guard. Their role is as a federal on-scene coordinator. So once we get to a point in time, and that question is asked always with these types of circumstances, who's in charge? And at first it's BP or Exxon, and then it will evolve very quickly, and then when it's necessary, the federal government will come on in, and the Coast Guard does a good job in coordinating all the activity around the spill cleanup. What
kind of conditions are we talking about in this kind of scenario? This is oil that's sitting on top of the water. It is thick. It smells. Give us some of the sights and sounds.
It's pretty grubby, and I was there with Valdez, seeing some of the oil that came shore. The shorelines are going to be different here. Up in Alaska, they were pristine. They had a very sensitive ecosystem, and rocks and pebbles and all. Here, it's going to be a little bit different because this is a delta region that's going to be impacted. Again, very, very sensitive ecologically.
Right. Environmentalists aren't sure how this is going to settle because, like you said, with the rocks, that was all kind of sprayed off when they did the cleanup effort. Now we're talking about sandy soil, these reeds, the delta area. This could be a big problem for years to come.
I think, and that shoreline down there is very sensitive, and it's just full of life. And this is going to be a pretty dramatic cleanup. It's going to be an impact, I think, on that ecosystem.
Yeah. First things first, they've got to get this well capped. They're working on it right now, but this is going to be a disaster that will follow into the summer, I'm sure.
I understand it's, well, Valdez was about 1,300 square miles impacted. This has 1,800 square miles already.
Tom Haas, we got to catch you up. Appreciate it. News 8 at 6 is next.
Okay.